Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast today, All Matters Financial. Today's subject is on financial well-being. Our guest speaker today is Jorge Jackson, one of our advisors. George, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi Stuart, thank you for having me. I'm a financial advisor here at Pareto Financial Planning. I've been working in financial planning for about 6 years now.
So you're a young whippersnapper, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So with regards to financial well-being, it's quite a broad term. For our listeners on the podcast, just run through what you think we mean by financial well-being.
Yeah, so I think you're exactly right. Financial well-being is it's quite a broad subject, and it's something that's gaining quite a lot of traction. And I do believe there's a lot of value in it for clients. In a nutshell, I'd probably describe financial well-being as an individual who is secure and in control or has control around their finances. So financial well-being, it's about making the most of your money on a day-to-day basis. And to do that, you need to have a financial plan. That financial plan is also going to help you prepare for any shocks that you have with your finances. And having that understanding and knowing that you've got that plan in the background is going to create the confidence. In short, what that's looking to achieve is being financially resilient, confident and empowered around your money. An example I use sometimes, an example that I've seen with some of my own clients, if you've got, say, client A and client B, you've got client A who has more money than they can ever spend. They're financially, from the outside looking in on paper, resilient, secure, everything. But without that understanding of their numbers, they can find that actually they can be up at night worrying about money. And it's that client A, that one is someone who hasn't got that financial well-being. On the other hand, you have client B who's got fairly modest pension savings and investments, but they understand their numbers. They understand that they've got a plan in place that is, robust. They know how much they can spend. It's sustainable, and they're the ones that could feel much more financially secure and have what we'd say is financial well-being. And this, what we do and what we try and do is put that people in that client B position where they have that security and that feeling of security.
So I think you're quite right there, George, because we have clients who sell their businesses or build up wealth, and they still have sleepless nights because they haven't worked out exactly where the money should be, how long it's going to last. And we've got tools that can help with that, such as cash flow planning. Mm-hmm. You talk about financial resilience. When should people start thinking about financial resilience and what they should be doing with the money? And what factors should they be taking into account?
So for me, it probably goes back, the financial well-being and good habits and understanding around finances. You could start as young as possible, really, because those habits last a lifetime. But if this is something that you're starting to listen to, a real maybe key time to start thinking about these things is when you're accumulating money. So in those years where you've started to earn an income, you're saving for the longer term. That could be a real trigger point to start thinking and understanding your numbers to make sure that you are on track to, depending on your objectives, but broadly achieve the retirement that you're looking to, and any other goals and objectives you might have. But another time could be approaching retirement or entering retirement and just understanding that the money that you're spending on a day-to-day basis is sustainable. You've got this, sufficient emergency money around you to make sure that you can withstand any sort of financial shocks. Gaining that understanding is just vital to having that well-being around finances.
And when we speak about financial resilience, it's also important. It's not just about growing your wealth. It's also about protecting what you've got. Mm-hmm. So a big part is having a good foundation, so having a platform of protection such as life cover, critical illness. So you've mentioned it before, George. Should something happen to you, then what you've got is protected, and you've got a platform so that you're not using up any wealth going forward in the future. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A part of a financial plan or working towards having good financial well-being in your life is planning for or mitigating known risks. A risk to your financial plan could be that you are unable to work for the last 10 years due to injury or illness. Having sufficient appropriate protection in place, such as in that example could be income protection, would be vital to achieving your objectives, but also achieving financial well-being, knowing that in that event you're protected and it's protecting the long-term plan.
Good, thank you. So if you could summarise and give any listeners 5 top tips when they're thinking about financial well-being, what would you say the 5 top tips should be?
It's a good question. I think I'd probably summarise or put the top sort of 5 tips to take away would be, I think it's really important is to understand the numbers. So it's understanding your income, your expenditure, your assets, your liabilities. Having that understanding is going to sort of underpin everything. Secondly, I'd be looking at having or thinking about what your future objectives are, what it is that you're looking to achieve. Thirdly, I'd be looking to talk to a professional around these things, gaining their experience, their insight, and helping you put those numbers into practice and make a plan around that. Then, it's going to be a case of reviewing that plan, and regularly making sure that if any of your priorities change or objective changes, there's any significant changes that you're factoring those in. And then finally, I think if we sort of loop that back round to financial well-being, I think it's important to be engaged in the numbers, engaged in that process, to make sure that you fully understand your circumstances and create that financial well-being that we're looking for.
So as our regular listeners will know, we always ask the random question on the podcast. George, if you could do anything and money was no object, what would you like to do?
For me, it would be, I'd love to travel the world. I've done lots of travelling in the past, and I'd love to continue that. Skiing as well. Skiing all over the world is, that'd be up there.
Fabulous. So, as our regular listeners will know, this podcast is part of a series we have recorded. Please make sure you subscribe and check out our other podcasts on who Pareto are, estate and tax planning, protecting your assets, retirement planning, growing your wealth, cash flow planning, protecting your business and business exit. As always, the information provided in our podcast is general in its nature and should not be relied upon without seeking specific professional financial advice. If you'd like to speak to anyone regarding your personal circumstances, feel free to speak to myself or your regular advisor for a fee-free, no obligation consultation. Thank you everyone for listening, and George, thank you for your time.